Hello! I'm so loud, hang on. Okay, better. Hello Gemini, hello Nola Saint, how are you? How's your day? Today we will be continuing at the Mountains of Madness. We'll be doing 6, 7, and 8. Very sick. Oh no, did I get you sick? I'm still sick as well. Did I get you sick? Everyone's getting sick now. Despite time zones. Despite hemispheres. Everyone's getting sick. Oh no. I hope you feel better though. I'm slowly getting better, but I'm still sick. Still sick. Back then I used to put my microphone on a box, on a tin of tea. I'm not sick, I'm just old. No! Okay, I'm gonna put my mine on a tissue box. Because I realize sometimes it's just a little bit hard. Going back to normal? Yeah. Yeah. I think you can tell, but I'm still a bit coughy. But that's okay. Yeah, okay, so my mic right now is on a very unstable tissue box. Maybe this will make the cutting out part less obvious. I still need the tissue at times though. So I'm just gonna do it in this weird position. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. I know that having one of those mic arms attached to the table is convenient, but I'm not gonna get one. I don't think there's any point in me getting one. Yes. Yes, YouTube is up. Still coffee though. Okay, so I'm gonna move something around, hang on. Okay, let us continue the... Wait, I need to check a few other things. There we go. Okay, let us continue the book. I don't remember what happened last time. I think I was in such a state that I just really don't remember what happened last time, but I'm sure after reading a few paragraphs, our mind would be jogged. Oh yeah, we went back to visit, huh? Bedtime story. Unfortunately, I won't give you guys any lullabies. I did have an idea of turning like common songs or pop songs or whatever popular song is happening or whatever into a lullaby version. You know how some people turn Japanese songs into English version or English songs into Japanese? I was thinking of turning one into a lullaby version, but I don't know how to do that because I don't even know where to get started with the instrumental side of things. I'm no musician. I won't be able to create the instrumental. I'm sure you'll figure out. I don't think I'll do it. It's just too much. And I realize a lot of artists and musicians, some of them, or most of them, are quite reluctant to do something new. They get very confused. Okay, chapter 6. Gee! Hello. Everyone's getting sick. I'm sick. Hello, yes, I'll drink. Actually, what I'm drinking right now is my medicine, because I like the medicine one. Not the medicine one, the drinking one. the hot drink medicine stuff. And it's too hot for me to drink in one go, so I'm just sipping it. It's lemon and ginger flavor. How's your day, Chi? I haven't been on your stream for so long. It's been too long. It's been too long. Okay, chapter 6. You're good, you're good, you're good. That's good to hear. I feel so bad after my break. I just haven't visited a lot of people. I have not yet checked in with everyone. So, yeah, I feel bad. But at the same time, I get so tired. It's a break, it's understandable. Yeah, but now I'm back. I still haven't checked in with them. I still haven't done it yet. And I think that's why I lose contact with so many people. I meet so many people and lose so many people too. You did a break too, it's nice. Yes, having breaks is nice, and I have way too many actually. Okay, I will read one paragraph. It would be cumbrous to give a detailed, consecutive account of our wanderings inside that cavernous, aeon-dead honeycomb of primal masonry. That monstrous layer of elder secrets which now echoed for the first time after uncounted epochs to the tread of human feet. This is especially true because so much of the horrible drama and revelation came from a mere study of the omnipresent mural carvings. Our flashlight photographs of those carvings will not do much towards proving the truth of what we are now disclosing, and it is lamentable that we had not a larger film supply with us. As it was, we made crude notebook sketches of certain salient features after all our films were used up. I feel like I read that already. You can always try to reach out still, usually people are chill. That's true, but some people I haven't reached out to, I haven't talked to since 2022. Yeah, there's actually quite a few people I will talk to for like a few days or maybe just one day, and afterwards it's just full silence. I feel like the connections that I managed to, well, not me, but that managed to kind of stay for a bit longer are the ones where the other person would also come or check in on me occasionally as well. But again, I can't force people to do it, so yeah. If they feel like it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. Yeah. The building which we had entered was one of great size and elaborateness, and gave us an impression notion of the architecture of that nameless geologic past. The inner partitions were less massive than the outer walls, but on the lower levels were excellently preserved. Labyrinthine complexity involving curiously irregular difference in floor levels characterized with entire arrangements. And we would certainly have been lost at their very outset but for the trail of torn paper left behind us. We decided to explore the more decrepit upper parts first of all, hence climb aloft in the maze for a distance of some 100 feet to where the topmost tier of chambers yawned snowily and ruinously open to the polar sky. Ascent was effected over the steep, transversely ribbed stone ramps or inclined planes which everywhere served in lieu of stairs. The rooms we encountered were of all imaginable shapes and proportions, ranging from 5-pointed stars to triangles and perfect cubes. It might be safe to say that their general average was about 30 to 30 feet in floor area and 20 feet in height, though many larger apartments existed. After thoroughly examining the upper regions and the glacial level, we descended story by story into the submerged part, where indeed we soon saw we were in a continuous maze of connected chambers and passages, probably leading over unlimited areas outside this particular building. The cyclopean massiveness and gigantism of everything about us became curiously oppressive, and there was something vaguely but deeply unhuman in all the contours, dimensions, proportions, decorations, and constructional nuances of the blasphemously archaic stonework. We soon realized from what the carvings revealed that this monstrous city was many millions years old. And I think the reason why I don't really reach out to people is I don't want to bother them. I don't want to bother them. Okay. We cannot yet explain the engineering principles used in the anomalous balancing and adjustment of the vast rock masses, though the function of the ark was clearly much relied on. The rooms we visited were wholly bare of all portable contents, a circumstance which sustained our belief in the city's deliberate desertion. The prime decorative feature was the almost universal system of mural sculpture, which tended to run in continuous horizontal bands 3 feet wide and arranged from floor to ceiling in alternation with bands of equal width given over to geometrical arabesques. There were exceptions to this rule of arrangement, but its preponderance was overwhelming. Often, however, a series of smooth cartouches containing oddly patterned groups of dots would be sunk along one of the arabesque bands. I feel like I already read this chapter. I was. The technique we soon saw was mature, accomplished, and aesthetically evolved to the highest degree of civilized mastery, though utterly alien in every detail to any known art tradition of the human race. In delicacy of execution, no sculpture I have ever seen could approach it. The minutest details of elaborate vegetation or of animal life were rendered with astonishing vividness despite the bold scale of the carvings, whilst their conventional designs were marvels of skillful intricacy. The arabesques displayed a profound use of mathematical principles and were made up of obscurely symmetrical curves and angles based on the quantity of 5. The pictorial bands followed a highly formalized tradition and involved a peculiar treatment of perspective, but had an artistic force that moved us profoundly, notwithstanding the intervening gulf of vast geologic periods. The method of design hinged on a singular juxtaposition of the cross-section with a two-dimensional silhouette and embodied an analytical psychology beyond that of any known race of antiquity. It is useless to try to compare this art with any represented in our museums. Those who see our photographs will probably find its closest analogue in certain grotesque conception of the most daring futurists. The arabesque tracery consisted altogether of depressed lines, whose depth on unweathered walls varied from 1 to 2 inches. When cartouches with dots groups appeared, evidently as inscriptions in some unknown and primordial language and alphabet, the depression of the smooth surface was perhaps 1.5 inches, and of the dots perhaps a 1/2 inch more. The pictorial bands were in counter-sunk low relief, their background being depressed about 2 inches from the original wall surface. In some specimens, marks of formal coloration could be detected, though for the most part the untold aeons had disintegrated and banished any pigments which may have been applied. The more one studied the marvelous technique, the more one admired things. Beneath the strict conventionalization, one could grasp the minute and accurate observation and graphic skill of the artist, and indeed the very conventions themselves serve to symbolize and accentuate the real essence or vital differentiation of every object delineated. We felt too that besides these recognizable excellences, there were others lurking beyond the reach of our perceptions. Certain touches here and there gave vague hints of latent symbols and stimuli which another mental and emotional background, and a fuller or different sensory equipment might have made of profound and poignant significance to us. Hello, KV. Oi. Oi, hoi. Ooh, you know what I want? I want an 07, a salute emote, and I'll put it on 7TV. It doesn't have to be subscription thingy. Yeah, a high, a wave. Maybe a wave, it might be too generic. A salute is fun. I want an ugly cry. I want a panic. 07. I put high as one of mine. I think. High? Let me just check. There. Oh, I accidentally said hi onto YouTube. Whoopsie. As long as they're all Juan. I was actually thinking the mascot. The mascot is cool, I guess. The gay Juan. I should call gay Juan instead of Juan Rave. Gay horse. Hello, Starlight NT. Thanks for a follow. Gay horse. Ahoy hoy. Hello. Don't have to pay to say hello, thank God. I thought I didn't hear you correctly. Gay horse. Gay Juan. Oh, you know the Slay emote that I have? Oh, I need a Juan version of it, huh? Good idea, me. I'm not gonna remember this. I need a Juan version of it with the nails and all. Maybe I should get someone to draw it for me. Yes, how are you, Starlight NT, and what do you prefer me to call you? Or do you prefer Starlight NT? Can we get a gay Juan emote? Gay June emote? Like a rainbow emote? Just rainbow? I don't know how to do the rainbow thing on its own, because the rainbow thing was a Twitch thing. So it will need to be a Twitch emote unless someone can tell me how to get the rainbow color effect. I have one where I have a PNG where it's a literal rainbow above me. Koiti OK. Let me see if I can find it actually. I nearly lost it. Where is it? Wait. Got it. Oh, it's big. Hang on. I have this. I don't know where to put it. Like, yeah. Just want to come and say your models are so pretty. Thank you. And I'll say this every time someone mentions it. The artist drew it with a mouse. He drew it with a mouse. Not gay enough? Okay. Nami, hello. A mouse, yes. He didn't have a tablet then. He got a tablet after my model was drawn, and my model was drawn in 2022. Yes. Have good sleep, Nami. That's so cool. Yeah, I don't think he can draw it with a mouse now, but because it's something you need to practice all the time, right? If you stop doing it, yeah. Not sleeping. Oh, okay. Just got back from archery and horse riding because I saw you streaming. Go back to archery and horse riding. Don't stop because of me. Today's blazing hot. Oh. Nuh-uh. No. The arabesque tracery. Wait, I read that already. I think. Yes, I did. The subject matter of the sculptures obviously came from the life of the vanished epoch of the creation and contained a large proportion of evident history. It is this abnormal historic mindedness of the primal race, a chance circumstance operating through coincidence miraculously in our favor, which made the carving so awesomely informative to us, and which caused us to place their photography and transcription above all other considerations. In certain rooms, the dominant arrangement was varied by the presence of maps, astronomical charts, and other scientific designs of the enlarged scale. These things giving a naive and terrible corroboration to what we gathered from the pictorial friezes and dadus, in hinting at what the whole revealed. I can only hope that my account will not arouse a curiosity greater than sane caution on the part of those who believe me at all. It would be tragic if any were to be allured to that realm of death and horror by the very warning meant to discourage them. Good that you are now here then, out of the blazing hot weather. Go sit by the fan. Go sit in the fridge. Interrupting these sculptured walls were high windows and massive 12-foot doorways, both now and then retaining the petrified wooden planks, elaborately carved and polished, of the actual shutters and doors. All metal fixtures had long ago vanished, but some of the doors remained in place and had to be forced aside as we progressed from room to room. Window frames with odd transparent panes, mostly elliptical, survived here and there, though in no considerable quantity. There were also frequent niches of great magnitude, generally empty, but once in a while containing some bizarre object carved from green soapstone, which was either broken or perhaps held too inferior to warrant removal. Other apertures were undoubtedly connected with bygone mechanical facilities, heating, lighting, and the like, of a sort suggested in many of the carvings. Ceilings tended to be plain, but had sometimes been inlaid with green soapstones or other tiles, mostly fallen now. Floors were also paved with such tiles, though plain stonework predominated. The cat dance. Cat dance. Cat memes are crazy. I still think about the Muslim cats that I've been seeing on TikTok recently. The Muslim cats waking up for Ramadan. Waking up at 4 a.m. As I have said, all furniture and other movables were absent, but the sculptures gave a clear idea of the strange devices which had once filled these tomb-like echoing rooms. Above the glacial sheet, the floors were generally thick with detritus, litter, and debris, but farther down this condition decreased. In some of the lower chambers and corridors, there was little more than gritty dust or ancient incrustations, while occasional areas had an uncanny air of newly swept immaculateness. Of course, where rifts or collapses had occurred, the lower levels were as littered as the upper ones, a central court, as in other structures we had seen from the air, save the inner regions from total darkness, so that we seldom had to use our electric torches in the upper rooms except when studying sculpture details. Below the ice cap, however, the twilight deepened, and in many parts of the tangled ground level there was an approach to absolute blackness. The topalikat, Mr. Mario? What? I'm up before 4 a.m. I go to bed at 6 to 7 a.m. This is not new news. I think it's just because with Ramadan, when they're not fasting, it's just normal times. But then all of a sudden with Ramadan, you have people up and about at 4 a.m. eating food. Mr. Mario? Wait, how many Muslim kites are there? I'll catch up with the reading. Okay. Mr. Mario. Muslim cat. I'm just Googling. Oh, I was thinking like of let me see, Muslim cat Ramadans, basically very confused cats, and it's just funny. New Ramadan cats, basically. New Muslim cats. Where is it? New Muslim cats. Ramadan. The one that was confused because everyone in the house was awake at 4 a.m. and having a feast? Yes. Yes. Where is it? Confused. Confused Ramadan cats. There's so many of them. Let me see. I know this is a distraction. I'm sorry. I love them all. They're all so great. How do I do this? No, I'm not gonna browse this then. Hang on. Nope, not that one. I still don't know how to share my Maybe it is this. I bring this up and then bring this back. Nope, it's not. Either way, I'm gonna just send the link. That's it. I'm just sending the link. Muslim cats. I don't know, man. Okay. Good night. Okay, I'm gonna continue. No more distractions. As I have said, all furniture and other movables were absent, but the sculptures gave a clear idea of the strange devices which had once filled these tomb-like echoing. I read that already. To form even a rudimentary idea of our thoughts and feelings as we penetrated this aeon-silent maze of unhuman masonry, one must correlate a hopelessly bewildering chaos of fugitive moods, memories, and impressions. The sheer appalling antiquity and lethal desolation of the place were enough to overwhelm almost any sensitive person, but added to these elements were the recent unexplained horror at the camp and the revelations all too soon affected by the terrible mural sculptures around us. The moment we came upon a perfect section of carving where no ambiguity of interpretation could exist, it only took a brief study to give us a hideous truth, a truth which it would be naive to claim Danforth and I had not independently suspected before, though we had carefully refrained from even hinting it to each other. There could now be no further merciful doubt about the nature of the beings which had built and inhabited these monstrous dead city millions of years ago, when man's ancestors were primitive archaic mammals and vast dinosaurs roamed the tropical steppes of Europe and Asia. We had previously clung to a desperate alternative and insisted, each to himself, that the omnipresence of the five-pointed motifs meant only some cultural or religious exaltation of the archaean natural object which had so patently embodied the quality of five-pointedness as the decorative motifs of Minoan Crete exalted the sacred bull, those of Egypt the scarabus, those of Rome the wolf and the eagle, and those of various savage tribes some chosen totem animal. But this one lone refuge was now stripped from us, and we were forced to face definitely the reason-shaking realization which the reader of these pages has doubtless long ago anticipated. I can scarcely bear to write it down in black and white even now, but perhaps that will not be necessary. The things once rearing and dwelling in this frightful masonry in the age of dinosaurs were not indeed dinosaurs, but far worse. Mere dinosaurs were new and almost brainless objects, but the builders of the city were wise and old and had left certain traces in rocks even then laid down well nigh in 1,000 million years old. In 1,000 million years. Rocks laid down before the true life of Earth had advanced beyond plastic groups of cells. Rocks laid down before the true life of Earth had existed at all. They were the makers and enslavers of that life, and above all doubt, the originals of the fiendish elder myths which things like the narcotic manuscripts and the Necronomicon affrightedly hint about. They were the great old ones that had filtered down from the stars when Earth was young, the beings whose substance an alien evolution had shaped, and whose powers were such as this planet had never bred. And to think that only the day before Danforth and I had actually looked upon fragments of their millennially fossilized substance, and that Paul Lake and his party had seen the complete outlines, it is of course impossible for me to relate in proper order the stages by which we pick up what we know of that monstrous chapter of pre-human life. After the first shock of the certain revelation, we had to pause a while to recuperate, and it was fully 3 o'clock before we got started on an actual tour of systematic research. The sculptures in the building we entered were of relatively late date, perhaps 2 million years ago, as checked by geological, biological, and astronomical features, and embodied an art which could be called decadent in comparison with that of specimens we found in older buildings after crossing bridges under the glacial sheet. One edifice hewn from solid rock seemed to go back 40 or possibly even 50 million years to the lower Eocene or Upper Cretaceous, and contained bas reliefs of an artistry surpassing anything else. with one tremendously exception that we encountered. That was, we have since agreed, the oldest domestic structure we traversed. Were it not for the support of those flashlights soon to be made public, I would refrain from telling what I found and inferred, lest I be confined as a madman. Of course, the infinitely early parts of the patchwork tale, representing the pre-terrestrial life of the star-headed beings on other planets, in other galaxies, and in other universes, can readily be interpreted as a fantastic mythology of those beings themselves. Yet such parts sometimes involves designs and diagrams so uncannily close to the latest findings of mathematics and astrophysics that I scarcely know what to think. Let others judge when they see the photographs I shall publish. Thanks for the follow, Jessica Bravura. Naturally, no one set of carvings which we encountered told more than a fraction of any connected story, nor did we even begin to come upon the various stages of that story in their proper order. Some of the vast rooms were independent units so far as their designs were concerned, whilst in other cases a continuous chronicle would be carried through a series of rooms and corridors. The best of the maps and diagrams were on the walls of a frightful abyss below even the ancient ground level, a cavern perhaps 200 feet square and 60 feet high, which had almost undoubtedly been an educational center of some sort. There were many provoking repetitions of the same material in different rooms and buildings, since certain chapters of experience and certain summaries of phases of racial history had evidently been favorites with different decorators and or dwellers. Sometimes so, variant versions of the same thing proved useful in settling debatable points and filling up gaps. I still wonder that we deduced so much in the short time at our disposal. Of course, we even now have only the barest outline, and much of that was obtained later on from a study of the photographs and sketches we made. It may be the effect of this later study, the revived memories and vague impressions acting in conjunction with his general sensitiveness, and what that final supposed horror glimpse, whose essence he will not reveal even to me, which has been the immediate source of Danforth's present breakdown. But it had to be, for we could not issue our warning intelligently without the fullest possible information, and the issuance of that warning is a prime necessity. Certain lingering influences in that unknown Antarctic world of disordered time and alien natural law make it imperative that further exploration be discouraged. Hello? Is that a butt? That's a butt. It's a butt. How did Twitch let that go? Thanks for the follow, DeLonga Dick. Nice name. Your avatar looks like it's been drawn by... Who's that? Who's that? Visual artist. Castlevania series of video games. Oh. Hang on, I need to call my mum. But that was chapter 6. go again? Castlevania. I actually haven't seen Castlevania, but I'm googling it right now. I see. Not the color. I feel like there is a difference in the color choices. Yeah. It looks quite different. I wonder what it is that makes you think it looks similar. Okay, chapter 7. I heard a lot about Castlevania the show, but nothing from the game. What the hell is that? Capybara pic? Since when did Cerebot do that? I wonder if they had a poster there that said, "You don't have to be mad to work here, but it helps." What? Who? Who had a poster? Similar to Hollow Knight, but from which the Metroidvania genre was born. Ah. Unlike many rodents, capybaras do not have a tail. They don't? Just woke up before I hopped in here. Go back to sleep. Zoe does this with dogs, cats, and ducks. Ooh. And hello, fish dinner. Oh. Ducklings can understand the relationship between objects, which demonstrates abstract thought capabilities. It's 4 a.m. 4 a.m. is a good sleep time. Spread the word of Sari. Good. 4 a.m. is sleep time. Why are you awake at 4? It's definitely sleep time. Stares at a few other people. Most animals understand the relationship between objects to some extent. Yes, to some extent. I guess it just depends on me who religiously wakes up at 5 a.m. Bad joke. Have you heard about the Owl Sanctuary job opening? It's all night shifts, but they're all a hoot over there. Hoot. Hoot. You like the mods when usually there's no sleep. Bruh, why I felt bad because I wasn't sure if it would affect your sleeps when I was choosing. Because I think most of them, most of the people who did apply were not in my time zone. Well, nearly all of them. Actually, all of them. Always up this way. I know. And I do sometimes wonder if I'm the reason why your sleep will never improve. Flip. No! I have to the doctor today. I have been having pain. Oh no, I hope you get better. So they are aware of the risk being high and being a mod. What happens when I get flipped? Everyone's sick now. My TED talk with Sari. Okay, thank you so far as well. Egg. Bold. I'm bold. Ooh. Still sick? Yes, I'm still sick. I'm not waking up congested anymore, which is good. I just had an idea for the bold. Bzzz. That sound, and I want an animation of it. Bzzz. And then the hair falls off. A razor. Bzzz. At least you don't cough anymore. Oh. I still cough. Last night I had a lot of trouble sleeping because I spent most of my time coughing. Yes, I will hydrate, thank you. And that was the last in my cup, so I'm gonna get more water. I'll be back.
Thank you for liking my voice. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Okay, chapter 7. Let me just drink. Keith! Hi, Keith. When I see your name, I think of Try Guys, Keith.
Rest in peace.
You have a lot of saucy emotes, don't you, Jessica? Okay, chapter 7. Not Keith, I'm Dog. Dog here hates Georgia. Hello. Why do you hate Georgia? Okay, chapter 7. The full story so far as deciphered will eventually appear in an official bulletin of Miskatonic University. That's my favorite word of all time. What? Here, I shall sketch only. Oh, you know buses? Buses. It's a 7TV one if you have 7TV. The full story so far as deciphered will eventually appear in an official bulletin of Miskatonic University. Here I shall sketch only the salient highlights in a formless, rambling way. Myth or otherwise, the sculptures told of the coming of those star-headed things to the nascent, lifeless Earth out of cosmic space, their coming, and the coming of many other alien entities, such as at certain times embark upon spatial pioneering. They seemed all able to traverse this interstellar ether on their vast membranous wings, thus oddly confirming some curious hill folklore long ago told me by an antiquarian colleague. They had lived under the sea a good deal, building fantastic cities and fighting terrific battles with nameless adversaries by means of intricate devices employing unknown principles of energy. Evidently, their scientific and mechanical knowledge far surpasses man today, though they made use of its more widespread and elaborate forms only when obliged to. Some of the sculptures suggested that they had passed through a stage of mechanized life on other planets, but had receded upon finding its effects emotionally unsatisfying. Their preternatural toughness of organization and simplicity of natural wants made them peculiarly able to live on a higher plane without the more specialized fruits of artificial manufacture. And even without garments, except for occasional protection against the elements. Buses. is a sci-fi. It's what is Lovecraft? He's a bit of everything. I should get my cough lolly ready. Cosmic horror. I still don't really understand what that is. That paragraph just referred to the previous book that we read. Horror from outer space. Sci-fi horror. Ah. Normal happens to the Earth. But like a folklore thingy. Sort of, I guess. It was under the sea at first for food and later for other purposes that they first created Earth life using available substances according to long-known methods. The more elaborate experiments came after the annihilation of various cosmic enemies. They had done the same thing on other planets, having manufactured not only necessary foods, but certain multicellular protoplastics masses capable of molding the tissues into all sorts of temporary organs under hypnotic influence, and thereby forming ideal slaves to perform the heavy work of the community. These viscous masses were without doubt what Abdul al-Hazred whispered about as the Slogos in his frightful Necronomicon, even though that mad Arab had not hinted that any existed on Earth except in the dreams of those who had chewed a certain alkaloidal herb. When the star-headed Old Ones on this planet had synthesized the simple food forms and bred a good supply of sloggots, they allowed other cell groups to develop into other forms of animals and vegetable life for sundry purposes, extirpating any whose presence became troublesome. Cthulhu. Cthulhu. That is Lovecraft as well. With the aid of the it says Sloggots, not Shoggots. It's Shoggots, not Sloggots. Tentacles in anime. With the aid of the Shoggots, whose expansions could be made to lift prodigious weights, the small, low cities under the sea grew to vast and imposing labyrinths of stone, not unlike those which later rose on land. Indeed, the highly adaptable Old Ones had lived much on land and other parts of the universe, and probably retained many traditions of land constructions. As we studied the architecture of all these sculptured Paleogen cities, including that whose aeon-dead corridors we were even then traversing, we were impressed by a curious coincidence which we have not yet tried to explain, even to ourselves. The tops of the buildings, which in the actual city around us had of course been weathered into shapeless ruins ages ago, were clearly displayed in the bas reliefs and showed vast clusters of needle-like spires, delicate finials on certain cone and pyramid apexes, and tiers of thin, horizontal scalloped discs capping cylindrical shafts. This was exactly what we had seen in that monstrous and portentous mirage cast by a dead city when such skyline features had been absent for thousands and tens of thousands of years, which loomed in our ignorant eyes across the unfathomed mountains of madness as we first approached poor Lake's ill-fated camp. Mountains of Madness, they said it! They finally said it! Of the life of the old ones, both under the sea and after part of them migrated to land, volumes could be written. Those in shallow water had continued the fullest use of the eyes at the ends of the five main head tentacles, and had practiced the arts of sculptures and of writing in quite the usual way. The writing accomplished with a stylus on waterproof waxen surfaces, those lower down in the ocean depths, though they had used a curious phosphorescent organism to furnish light, pieced out the vision with obscure special sensors operating through the prismatic cilia in the heads. Sensors which rendered all the old ones partly independent of light in emergencies. Their forms of sculpture and writing had changed curiously during the descent, embodying certain apparently chemical coating processes, probably as to secure phosphorescences, which the base release could not make clear to us. The beings moved in the sea partly by swimming, using the lateral crinoid arms, and partly by wriggling the lower tier of tentacles containing the pseudofeet. Occasionally they accomplished long swoops with the auxiliary use of 2 or more sets of their fan-like folding wings. On land they locally used the pseudofeet, but now and then flew to greater heights or over long distances with their wings. The many slender tentacles into which the crinoid arms branch were infinitely delicate, flexible and strong, and accurate in muscular nervous coordination, ensuring the utmost skill and dexterity in all artistic and other manual operations. They said the thing! It suits the story. What's happening in the BGM? Yeah, definitely. It definitely suits it, yeah? Yum, yum, yum. The toughness of the things was almost incredible. Even the terrific pressure of the deepest sea bottoms appeared powerless to harm them. Very few seemed to die at all except by violence, and the burial places were very limited. It's muffled. It's a muffled background music. I am significantly louder. I can unmuffle it to see what it would do. Let me see. The quack didn't work. No! The quack didn't work. No! Quack. Quack. It worked. Quack. Quack. I'll refund that. Why did it not work? It is cute for it. Yeah. Double checking. There we go. It is too cute for the horror book, but that is okay. The fact that they covered the vertically inhumed dead with 5-pointed inscribed mounds set up thoughts in Danforth and me, which made a fresh pause and recuperation necessary after the sculptures revealed it. Chiat? What do you mean Chiat? The beings multiplied by means of spores, like vegetable pteridophytes, as Lake had suspected. But owing to their prodigious toughness and longevity and consequent lack of replacement needs, they did not encourage a large-scale development of new prothalia. Except when they had new regions to colonize, the young matured swiftly and received an education evident beyond any standard we can imagine. The prevailing intellectual and aesthetic life was highly evolved and produced a tenaciously enduring set of customs and institutions which I shall describe more fully in my coming monograph. These varied slightly according to sea or land residents, but had the same foundations and essentials. I'm gonna listen to this in the background while cooking. Do you want to suggest me anything to make? I feel bad after the previous incident. I made curry yesterday. If that counts for anything. I got lazy, so I made it in the rice cooker, but that was a big mistake. That was a really big mistake. That was a pain to clean up. Curry. Japanese curry. I had I made it in a rice cooker. I put it in the soup setting. It will happen again. I learned my lesson. I don't like cleaning it. It was a pain in the butt to clean. It works. Like, it's technically a soup. If you think about it. I just had to cook it down, which is what made it really hard, because yeah. Thank God you're showing why. Why? It would taste the same. I would have cursed you with a curse of raw. It would have tasted the same. It's just different cooking techniques. Never has the word technically scared me so much. It would taste the same. I just didn't use any oil. I think that's the other thing. I just didn't use any oil. It was soup initially. I had chicken. I had veggies. And I just cooked it until the chicken was cooked. And then I just threw in the curry thing, and then I realized that, oh, there's too much water in there. So I cooked it with the rice cooker open, but then it bubbled so much it made a mess. So I put my pot lid on top of the rice cooker, like the open rice cooker, to let out some of the air so it can cook down, but also not splatter everywhere. I'm very creative when I'm lazy. Do you not own a stove? I do. I just didn't want to watch over it. I knew if I were to cook it on a stove, me being me yesterday, it would have burnt. Yeah. I have... What do I have in there? But yeah. Though able, like vegetables, to derive nourishment from inorganic substances, they vastly preferred organic and especially animal food. They ate uncooked marine life under the sea, but cooked their viands on land. They hunted game and raised meat herds, slaughtering with sharp weapons whose odd marks on certain fossil bones our expedition had noted. They resisted all ordinary temperatures marvelously, and in their natural state could live in water down to freezing. When the great chill of the of the Pleistocene drew on. However, nearly a million years ago, the land dwellers had to resort to special measures, including artificial heating. Unlike at last, the deadly cold appears to have driven them back into the sea. For their prehistoric flights through cosmic space, legend said, they absorbed certain chemicals and became almost independent of eating, breathing, or heat conditions, but by the time of the Great Cold they had lost track of their method. In any case, they could not have prolonged the artificial state indefinitely without harm. Hello, Wild Dreamer. Hello. When we make pasta, I consider Japanese curry if my friend would like something. Ooh. Would you make pasta and instead of normal pasta sauce, you use curry? Pasta curry. Curry pasta. I need a lurk emote. Thanks for the follow, hottie man. That's a delicacy here? Oh. Pasta curry. Not in my state, but another state. Oh. Being non-pairing and semi-vegetable in structure, the old ones had no biological basis for the family phase of mammal life, but seemed to organize large households on the principles of comfortable space utility and, as we deduce from the pictured occupations and diversions of co-dwellers, congenial mental association. In furnishing their homes, they kept everything in the center of the huge rooms, leaving all the wall spaces free for decorative treatment. Lighting in the case of land inhabitants was accomplished by a device probably electrochemical in nature. Both on land and underwater, they used curious tables, chairs, and couches, like cylindrical frames, for they rested and slept upright with folded tentacles, and racks for hinged sets of dotted surfaces forming their books. You know laksa? Basically that, but they changed the noodles to pasta. Oh yeah! Laksa. Like pasta laksa. Government was evidently complex and probably socialistic, though no certainties in this regard could be deduced from the sculptures we saw. I use storytelling. I'm reading a book, very poorly, but I am trying. I am reading Lovecraft. Never read Lovecraft, and yes. Government was evidently complex and probably socialistic, though no certainties in this regard could be deduced from the sculptures we saw. There was extensive commerce, both local and between different cities. Certain small, flat counters, 5-pointed and inscribed, serving as money. Probably the smaller of the various greenish soapstones found by our expedition were pieces of such currency. Though the culture was mainly urban, some agriculture and much stock raising existed. Mining and a limited amount of manufacturing were also practiced. Travel was very frequent, but permanent migration seemed relatively rare except for the vast colonizing movements by which the race expanded. For personal locomotion, no external aid was used, since inland, air, and water movement, unlike the old ones, seemed to possess excessively vast capacities for speed. Loads, however, were drawn by beasts of burden, shoggoths under the sea, and a curious variety of primitive vertebrates under the later years of land existence. We never read Lovecraft except for previous 2 books. Yes. I've never read Lovecraft before. First time reading Lovecraft. Do you like reading in general? I used to read a lot a lot, and I kind of lost that. So I'm trying to get back into it. That's really what it is. That's really what the whole purpose of these reading streams were. Because I guess the whole point of me starting streaming was to find a hobby. Because I didn't really have hobbies. And I don't think watching random TV shows and binge watching shows are a hobby. I did learn art. I did learn the other things. I feel like because I'm sort of streaming at the same time and being in this space, because I'm not good at it, being a newbie, complete newbie, it took the enjoyment out of it. So I'm just sticking to something that's not skill related, it's not skill based. Is sleeping a hobby because I like sleeping? Sleeping a hobby? I like sleeping too, honestly. I wish it was, but I don't think it is. I don't think it should be considered a hobby. I realized I forgot to take my medication, so I'm gonna do that now. I try a lot of hobbies and stick with whatever I enjoy. I think I can only enjoy a hobby if I'm good at it to some degree. And that will be hard if I'm a complete noob. Because I used to swim. I would consider swimming a hobby, an old hobby. And I was good at it to some degree, like in my training group. And then when they moved me to a higher group, a higher skill level group, I had trouble keeping up with everyone, and after that I lost interest in it. It'll be hard to enjoy new stuff unless you're a prodigy. I know. I know. I think I'm just hard on myself. I am particularly hard on myself. These vertebrates, as well as I'm good at sleeping. Even if there's a lot of noise or construction, I can still sleep with it. Even with sleeping, as much as I enjoy sleeping, I am bad at it. I am a very light sleeper. Day one hater of myself. These vertebrates, as well as an infinity of other life forms, animal and vegetable, marine, terrestrial, and aerial, were the products of unguided evolution acting on life cells made by the old ones, by escaping beyond their radius of attention. They had been suffered to develop unchecked because they had not come in conflict with the dominant beings. Bothersome forms, of course, were mechanically exterminated. It interested us to see in some of the very last and most decadent sculptures a shambling primitive mammal used sometimes for food and sometimes as an amusing buffoon by the land dwellers, whose vaguely simian and human foreshadowings were unmistakable. In the building of land cities, the huge stone blocks of the high towers were generally lifted by vast winged pterodactyls of a species heretofore unknown to paleontology. I kind of stopped art because I hated my art. Same. It just didn't, like, art doesn't always make sense in my head. Like, I understand if you explain it to me, but if I were to apply it, it just doesn't make sense. I also drink coffee to sleep because the caffeine doesn't affect me. Are you sure it's not just ADHD? Or caffeine addiction? Sleeping skill. I'm jealous, I can't sleep. I take a few hours to fall asleep. And it's always been like that. I wish I'm good at art. Same! I can draw shit, but I can't draw anything seriously. And I think that's also the reason why I sometimes am scared to take things seriously and express that I am serious about it. Because what if someone were to shit talk me? That would kill me. That would hurt me so bad if I were to put a lot of effort into something and then someone was like, that sucks. Yeah, I guess that's also another reason. Same, yeah. I maybe it's just my inability to accept rejection, or I don't know. I don't know. Follow artists to learn and steal their style, but honestly, it doesn't work well. Yeah, from what I understand, you're supposed to learn the basics before you try to develop a style, but I know some people are so impatient, and so they force the style. Okay, let us continue. Art fundamentals are just don't like my style, and I think this style is something that just comes with time. Your art's so good though. Your art is so good. What do you mean? My brain just processed what you said. What do you mean your art is so good? I think style, it just comes with time. Style definitely comes with time. If you look at some of the a lot of artists, you can see their style just very slowly changing, and it's just with them experimenting and not being scared to fail. I'm not lying. If liars liar pants on fire, then my pants are ice cold. They're pure ice blocks. The persistence with which the old ones survived various geologic changes and convulsions of the Earth's crust was little short of miraculous, though few or none of the first cities seem to have remained beyond the Archean age. There was no interruption of the civilization or in the transmission of their records. The original place of advent to the planet was the Antarctic Ocean, and it is likely that they came not long after the matter forming the moon was wrenched from the neighboring South Pacific. According to one of the sculptured maps, the whole globe was then underwater, with stone cities scattered farther and farther from the Antarctic as aeons passed. Another map shows a vast bulk of dry land surrounding the South Pole, where it is evident that some of the beings made experimental settlements, though their main centers were transferred to the nearest sea bottom. Later maps which display the land masses cracking and drifting and sending certain detached parts northward, upholding in a striking way the theories of continental drift lately advanced by Taylor, Wegner, and Jolly. Gone for a sec, making your coffee. What did I miss? Nami just shit talking their own art style, man. This went from being scary to an Animal Planet documentary. How the hell do they know so much from looking at a wall? Because they were drawing. I think that they turned the walls into a diary of sorts. A diary or a some sort of record keeping. With the upheaval of new land in the South Pacific, tremendous events began. Some of the marine cities were hopelessly shattered, yet that was not the worst misfortune. Another race, a land race of beings shaped like octopi and probably corresponding to fabulous pre-human spawn of Cthulhu, soon began filtering down from cosmic infinity and precipitated a monstrous war which for a time drove the old ones wholly back to the sea. A colossal blow in view of the increasing land settlements. Later, peace was made, and the new lands were given to the Cthulhu spawn, whilst the old ones held the sea and other older lands. New land cities were founded, the greatest of them in the Antarctic, for this region of first arrival was sacred. From then on, as before, the Antarctic remained the center of the old one's civilization, and all the cities built there by this Cthulhu spawn were blotted out. Then, suddenly, the lands of the Pacific sank again, taking with them the frightful stone city of Riley and all the cosmic octopi, so that the old ones were again supreme on the planet except for the one shadowy fear about which they did not like to speak. At a rather large age, their cities dotted all the land and water areas of the globe, hence the recommendation in my coming monograph that some archaeologists make systematic borings with a Peabody type of apparatus in certain widely separated regions. Art lucky I was gone because I don't know how to draw. Am I wrong? Art's good. It is imperfect. I failed my art subjects. Art's not sleeping awkward. Your art is good. What do you mean? Where is Discord? Hang on, I don't even have Discord up. Cthulhu mentioned. Your art is good. What do you mean? What do you mean it's not good? Look at your wolf. What the hell, man? I would draw a stick man and call it a perfection. What the hell, man? Backseating on certain aspects like form, it just doesn't make sense. Then you work on it. That's fine, you just work on it. If you think it lacks detail in certain parts, then just work on it. I know it's easier said than done, but still. I would just show your art to the family server and be like, what the hell? This person says their art sucks. If their art sucks, what am I? That's what my teacher said. I don't really see it, so I don't have any idea how to work on it. What does that mean? Person now who's found an imperfections of art. Your art is very good. Extra points for not being digital art. Wouldn't even know where to begin. Yeah. I feel like art teachers are very theory based. It really just depends on how you approach it and how you see things. You have very good use of color. And so be it. No, what the hell is this? It's always the art teachers. I slept a lot, but don't complain to myself because I love myself. Do I self-love, my bro? Just like the title Love Cry says, love your craft. Love your craft! Keep shooting disintegration beams at me though, so I can't tell. Sometimes teachers put too many expectations on students. I'm not gonna make a living off this. I just want to be pretty enduring. And I feel like if they don't tell you how to improve it, it doesn't mean anything. Like if you consider like some forms of art like watercolor, right? Watercolor art doesn't really have a lot of form. It's kind of free-flowing in a way. I kind of lose joy in art after a while. It happens, it does happen, but I do hope you find it again. I do hope you find it again. What did I get up to? You like my use of color, right? Yes. Why? You're gonna say your teacher doesn't like it? You're actually colorblind? That is actually so cool. That is actually so cool. So you have a different perspective, like a different literal perspective of color and how to use it. What did I get up to? Oh, I found it. The steady trend down the ages was from water to land, a movement encouraged by the rise of new land masses, though the ocean was never wholly deserted. Your art teacher's not a big fan? The hell? I mean, art teachers are art teachers, right? Art is so subjective. Like if I were to look on VGen, which is like the commissioning site for art, there will be some art styles I appreciate but wouldn't commission because I don't like the style, and there are some art styles I like I like their style, but then some people might not like their style. Art is so subjective. What one teacher says about it doesn't mean anything. Okay, let's start again. The steady trend down the ages was from water to land, a movement encouraged by the rise of new land masses, though the ocean was never wholly deserted. Another cause of the landward movement was a new difficulty in breeding and managing the shoggoths upon which successful sea life depended. On the march of time, as the sculptures started to confess, the art of creating new life from inorganic matter had been lost, so that the old ones had to depend on the molding of forms already in existence. On land, the greater reptiles proved highly tractable, but the shoggoths of the sea producing by fission and acquiring a dangerous degree of accidental intelligence presented for a time a formidable problem. They had always been controlled through the hypnotic suggestions of the old ones, and had modeled their tough plasticity into various useful temporary limbs and organs, but now their self-modeling powers were sometimes exercised independently and in various imitative forms implanted by past suggestion. They had, it seems, developed a semi-stable brain whose separate and occasionally stubborn volition echoed the will of the old ones without always obeying it. Sculptured images of these shoggoths filled Danforth and me with horror and loathing. They were normally shapeless entities composed of a viscous jelly which looked like an agglutination of bubbles, and each averaged about 15 feet in diameter when a sphere. They had, however, a constantly shifting shape and volume, throwing out temporary developments or forming apparent organs of sight, hearing, and speech in imitation of the masters, either spontaneously or according to suggestion. Try to get back in art. I'll try drawing you. Me? Are you sure? The hair makes everyone want to cry. Don't like to draw humans. That is okay. That is fine. Appreciate and acknowledge the time and effort you have put into developing your current art style and your current skill set. You don't want it? I don't want to force you. I don't want to make people feel like they have to draw me. And I feel bad because I think for me, I am someone who doesn't want to make people do things or burden people with things. Do it if you want to, and I would definitely appreciate it. Or you can just draw actually what do you like to draw? Do you like to draw animals more? Are you more of a nature and animal kind of person? Flowers? Flowers. You can definitely do something that's more to your style that is flower centered. And it can have me in it as well if you want. Draw me being lazy. Flower gardens. Oh yeah. Actually, because I'm working on my law video at the moment, and there is one scene which definitely involves a full-on flower garden of sorts. I think in terms of my law, it's very nature. I think for a lot of people it's very nature-based, but one of my scenes has a full-on flower garden. Scene is just full-on flowers. I just like the appearance of it. I just like looking at it. Flowers. I tried drawing anime style. Ooh, it was meh. It will be hard if you're not the type of person to draw anime style. If you're more of a realistic kind of artist, which I think you are, it will be hard to kind of transition into the anime style. You can show if you want. They had always been controlled through the hypnotic suggestions of the old ones, and had modeled their tough plasticity into various useful temporary limbs and organs. But now their self-modeling powers were sometimes exercised independently, and in various imitative forms implanted by past suggestion. They had, it seems, developed a semi-stable brain whose separate and occasionally stubborn volition echoed the will of the old ones without always obeying it. Sculptured images of these shoggoths filled Danforth and me with horror and loathing. I already read that. I read that already. Spicy noodles, hello! An idea for your new creation. Make a sleeping person, obviously not me. Make a lazy person sleeping. Cooking with one hand. Oh! Hello! I read that already. They seem to have become peculiarly intractable towards the middle of the Permian Age, perhaps 150 million years ago, when a veritable war of resubjugation was waged upon them by the marine Old Ones. Pictures of this war and the headless, slime-coated fashion in which the Shoggoths typically left their slain victims held a marvelously fearsome quality despite the intervening abyss of untold ages. The Old Ones had used curious weapons of molecular and atomic disturbances against the rebel entities, and in the end had achieved a complete victory. Thereafter, the sculptures showed a period in which Shoggoths were tamed and broken by armed Old Ones, as the wild horses of the American West were tamed by cowboys. Though, during the rebellion, the Shoggoths had shown an ability to live out of water. This transition was not encouraged, since their usefulness on land would hardly have been commensurated with the trouble of their management. Hello, Bestie Testy. Thank you. And thanks for the follow. The model was drawn with a mouse. I keep saying it to everyone. It was drawn with a mouse. I should put it as an automatic response. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. But yeah, it was drawn with a mouse. During the Jurassic Age, the Old Ones met fresh adversity in the form of a new invasion from outer space, this time by half fungus, half crustacean creatures undoubtedly the same as those figuring in certain whispered hill legends of the north, and remembered in the Himalayas as Amigo, or abominable snowmen. To fight these beings, the Old Ones attempted for the first time since the Turin event to sally forth again into the planetary ether, but despite all traditional preparations, found it no longer possible to leave the Earth's atmosphere. Whatever the old secret of interstellar travel had been, it was now definitely lost to the race. In the end, the Migo drove the Old Ones out of all the northern lands, though they were powerless to disturb those in the sea. Little by little, the slow retreat of the elder race to the original Antarctic habitat was beginning. I didn't draw it, the artist did. Starting to feel sleepy because of the caffeine. I'll be out. Be positive and appreciate it. Yes. Bye, Hottie Man. Thanks for the follow, Brooklyn. Are you sure the caffeine making you sleepy is not ADHD, man? Sounds like it is. It was curious to note from the pictured battles that both the Cthulhu spawn and the Migo seem to have become composed of matter more widely different from that which we know than was the substance of the Old Ones. They were able to undergo transformations and reintegrations impossible for their adversaries, and seemed therefore to have originally come from even remoter gulfs of the cosmic space. The Old Ones, but for their abnormal toughness and peculiar vital properties, were strictly material and must have had their absolute origin within the known space-time continuum, whereas the first sources of the other beings can only be guessed at with bated breath. All this, of course, assuming the non-terrestrial linkages and anomalies ascribed to the invading foes are not pure mythology. Conceivably, the Old Ones might have invented a cosmic framework to account for their occasional defeats, since historical interest and pride obviously form their chief psychological element. It is significant that the annals fail to mention many advanced and potent races of beings whose mighty cultures and towering cities figure persistently in certain obscure legends. How do I know I have ADHD? Oh, hi, thanks for the season sector. I heard a very common one was getting sleepy with caffeine. But again, I'm not diagnosing you. It's just the one thing I heard. A very common thing is being sleepy with caffeine. Sure, it's not a TV or something similar. It's probably TV. TV in the walls, TV in the carvings. The changing state of the world through long geologic ages appeared with startling vividness in many of the sculptured maps and scenes. In certain cases, existing science will require revision, while in other cases, its bold deductions are magnificently confirmed. As I have said, the hypothesis of Taylor, Wegener, and Jolly that all the continents are fragments of an original Antarctic landmass which cracked from centrifugal force and drifted apart over a technically viscous lower surface, an hypothesis suggested by such things as the complementary outlines of Africa and South America, and the way the great mountain chains are rolled and shoved up, receives striking support from this uncanny source. Maps evidently showing the Carboniferous world of 100 million or more years ago displayed significant rifts and chasms destined later to separate Africa from the once continuous realms of Europe, then the Valusia of primal legend, Asia, the Americas, and the Antarctic continent. Other charts, and most significantly one in connection with the founding 50 million years ago of the vast dead city around us, showed all the present continents well differentiated. And in the last discoverable specimen, dating perhaps from the Pliocene age, the approximate world of today appeared quite clearly despite the linkage of Alaska with Siberia, of North America with Europe through Greenland, and of South America with the Antarctic continent through Graham Land. In the Carboniferous map, the whole globe, ocean floor, and rifted land mass alike bore symbols of the old one's vast stone cities. But in the later charts, the gradual recession towards the Antarctic became very plain. The final Pliocene specimens showed no land cities except on the Antarctic continent and the tip of South America, nor any ocean cities north of the 50th parallel of south latitude. Knowledge and interest in the northern world, save for a study of coastlines probably made during long exploration flights on those fan-like membranous wings, had evidently declined to zero among the old ones. Alright, I'll be banning coffee in my life now. This is why I get sleepy, it's because of coffee now. I know, I understand it now. Will you actually? Thanks for following Scarlet Ivy Anna. Don't drink 5 coffee a day, special black coffee with sugar. Don't do it, I can feel the effect now. No! 5! I can't even handle 1!
Thank you for
Thank you.
My voice. Rest in peace.
I can't even handle 1! What the hell, man? Destruction of cities through the upthrust of mountains and centrifugal rendings of continents, the seismic convulsions of land or sea bottom, and other natural causes was a matter of common record, and it was curious to observe how fewer and fewer replacements were made as the ages wore on. The vast dead megalopolis that yawned around us seemed to be the last general center of the race, built early in the Cretaceous age after titanic earth buckling had obliterated a still vaster predecessor not far distant. It appeared that this general region was the most sacred spot of all, where reputedly the first old ones had settled on the primal sea bottom, on the new city, many of whose features we could recognize in the sculptures, but which stretched fully 100 miles along the mountain range in each direction, beyond the farthest limits of our aerial survey. There were reputed to be preserved certain sacred stones forming part of the first sea-bottom city, which thrust up to light after long epochs in the course of the general crumbling of strata. Hello, season sector. I feel like coffee flows through my veins. No, the previous statement was the type. It was supposed to be without sugar. Doesn't matter. 5 is still 5. 5 is still 5. Crazy. That was chapter 7. Crazy. 5 is still 5. That's a lot, actually. that is still a lot. 5 isn't bad. 5 coffee is bad. How many do you drink? What the hell? What the hell? I'm just saying this because in comparison I can barely manage one, so haha. Built different? Bro, I am so weak to caffeine. What happens when 5 isn't 5? Because they put them all in one big cup. Oh my god, shots. Shots. Okay, shots. Will we read the 8th one too? Conversations today were quite interesting. Yeah, we'll read the 8th one as well. I think I just read a paragraph each time and then we get distracted and then I just continue when there's nothing else to say. Gives me headaches. Yeah, I get headaches too from caffeine. Or before I go to sleep. What the hell? What the hell, man? I joined Discord because my Discord is empty as hell. I'm even considering deleting it because there's nothing on it. My Discord is relatively empty as well. But yeah, my bot just gives a link whenever someone mentions Discord. I feel like there should be a better way of doing it, but yeah. This is what I do when I was my own mod. My own soul mod. And you can look in art and look at Nami's art and tell me that Nami calling me a liar makes her or them a liar too. Or no, a liar, not liar too, just a liar. That's where the headaches come from. Terrible, says KV1, taking a big sip of coffee. Indeed, terrible. It's just in your blood now. It is good in my book, very nice. It is good. Which means her or their, no, I'm just gonna say their, which means their art teacher needs glasses. If they think their form is bad, they need glasses. And considering that they are also colorblind as well. Chapter 8. Naturally, Danforth and I studied with special interest and a peculiarly personal sense of awe everything pertaining to the immediate district in which we were. Of this local material there was naturally a vast abundance, and on the tangled ground level of the city we were lucky enough to find a house of very late date whose walls, though somewhat damaged by the neighbouring rift, contained sculptures of decadent workmanship carrying the story of the region much beyond the period of the Pliocene map, whence we derived our last general glimpse of the pre-human world. This was the last place we examined in detail, since what we found there gave us a fresh immediate objective. Certainly, we were in one of the strangest, weirdest, and most terrible of all the corners of Earth's globe. Of all existing lands, it was infinitely the most ancient. The conviction grew upon us that this hideous upland must indeed be the fabled nightmare plateau of Leng, which even the mad author of the Necronomicon was reluctant to discuss. The great mountain chain was tremendously long, starting as a low range of Luipold land on the east coast of Weddell Sea and virtually crossing the entire continent. That really high part stretched in a mighty arc from about latitude 82 east longitude 60 to latitude 70 east longitude 115, with its concave side towards our camp and its seaward end on the region of that long ice-locked coast whose hills were glimpsed by Wilkes and Mawson at the Antarctic Circle. You're finished cooking? Yetis come from space, yes. They do, they're aliens. Experiments are experiments for a reason, right? I mean, I don't think anyone will like their experiments. I think with experiments, it kind of helps you decide what you like and what you don't like. And it is a process that's necessary to develop your own style. Hi, Kuro. Hello, Kuro. Yet, even more monstrous exaggerations of nature seem disturbingly close at hand. I have said that these peaks are higher than the Himalayas, but the sculptures forbid me to say that they are Earth's highest. That grim honor is beyond doubt reserved for something which half the sculptures hesitated to record at all, whilst others approached it with obvious repugnance and trepidation. It seemed that there was one part of the ancient land, the first part that ever rose from the waters after the earth had flung off the moon and the old ones had seeped down from the stars, which had come to be shunned as vaguely, namelessly evil. Cities built there had crumbled before their time and had been found suddenly deserted. Then, when the first great earth buckling had convulsed the region of the Comanchean age, a frightful line of peaks had shot suddenly up amidst the most appalling din and chaos, and earth had received her loftiest and most terrible mountains. Kuro's always eating KV. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. You're hungry? What do you have to eat? What do you have planned? Dami, feed Kuro. Thank you. Everyone's hungry, everyone's tired, everyone's sleep deprived here. It seems to be a common thing. I don't know what it is. I understand. Good chicken, wedges, and corn. Ooh. I understand that similar people kind of find each other, but this is a little bit weird. I'm not hungry or sleep deprived. Indigo, you have good food. You should feed us all. Good Alfredo chicken. Ooh. Indigo, you should feed us. You get food? Ooh. Fettuccine Alfredo. Ooh. I don't cook it. Still, you eat good food. You eat good. I made Nami eat my atrocious weird. I wouldn't even call it a salad. It's just lazy food. And Nami judged me so hard. I still feel bad about it. It wasn't that bad to me, honestly. Whenever we talk about food, Indigo has to appear to remind us that he eats better than us. Indigo, you eat so well! I'm so jealous, but I know if I were to eat like you, I'll get so fat. If the scale of the carvings was correct, these abhorred things must have been much over 40,000 feet high, radically vaster than even the shocking mountains of madness we had crossed. They said it! They extended, it appeared, from about latitude 77, east longitude 70, to latitude 70, east longitude 100, less than 300 miles away from the dead city, so that we would have spied their dreaded summits in the dim western distance had it not been for that vague opalescent haze. The northern end must likewise be visible from the long Antarctic Circle coastline at Queen Mary Land. There's a selection bias here. Ah, true. But you eat good food frequently. You eat good food frequently. You don't judge me? Do you resent me for making you eat something like that? You feel sad? Okay, I will work towards doing a cooking stream just to show that I'm actually feeding myself properly. I just don't season my food. It quite literally is a seafood diet. If it's edible, I will eat it. Please consider what? I will do it. I'm telling you, I will do it just because it is actually part of my routine over the weekends, and I do want to try streaming on the weekends, which is what I have been doing this year. But in order to not break my usual routine, which it sort of has so far, I want to try doing the cooking. Red alert! No, I mentioned like a meal prep week meal prep stream. I mentioned it last year, man. I just don't have a proper camera. Have faith, yes. Have faith. It's just so I can get about my day and stream at the same time. Yeah. As a classically trained cook, I would judge you heavily. Are you actually classically trained? Yes, thank you. In my defense, I was never taught to cook. I was never taught, I was just expected to know. Hawkeye meme? What's a Hawkeye meme? Hawkeye meme. My family owned a pretty fancy restaurant for 3 generations. Dang! Don't do that, don't give me hope. Dang! My parents don't cook well as well. So, haha. Some of the old ones in the decadent days had made stranger prayers to those mountains, but none ever went near them or dared to guess what lay beyond. No human eye had ever seen them, and as I studied the emotions conveyed in the carvings, I pray that none ever might. The protecting hills along the coast beyond them, Queen Mary and Kaiser Wilhelm lands, and I thank heaven no one has been able to land and climb those mountains. I am not as skeptical about old tales and fears as I used to be, and I do not laugh now at the pre-human sculpture notions that the lightning paused meaningfully now and then at each of the brooding crests, and that an unexplained glow shone from one of those terrible pinnacles all through the long polar night. There may be a very real and very monstrous meaning to the old panacotic whispers about Kadath in the cold waste. What are you doing with the internet? I watch shows. I grew up with my mom, that is the owner of that restaurant. She teaches me fundamental cooking, Asian, Western, fine dining cooking. My sister's the owner of the restaurant. My cookie's better but suck at handling business. Started to cook when I was 11 to 12 years old. I developed an interest in baking cakes around 11 years old, but it was through the box cakes. It was through the box cakes, and then that went into pancakes, and then that's it. All my cooking stuff that I've done over since I moved out were based on observation, after watching my parents, after watching the adults, and on the internet, through the internet. At least you know how to cook. I wouldn't say I know how to cook. I would say I'm a fast learner. I can watch and I can copy. I don't actually know what I'm doing half the time. Yeah. Yeah, what am I doing on the internet? I watch shows. I don't really spend a lot of time on social media. And honestly, I started going on social media to not feel alone, and it has made me feel alone, even more alone. So that's why I just end up watching shows. Shows! An experiment, I like drawing hot women. Hot women! Hot women! Hot women! Ooh! Traditional to digital. Oh yeah, going from traditional to digital is hard. Ooh. Yeah, at least I'm still alive. Ooh. Are you watercolor? Or something similar?
Thank you for liking my
Brownie!
Rest in peace.
Brownie! You are? Oh. Oh. Yeah, going from traditional to digital is hard because you need to learn the actual program as well. Brownie! How are you, Brownie? Oh, did you just wake up? A few more digital, don't name my files properly. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. Brownie! Man, I wish I can draw and paint, man. I used to do oil painting. You're hanging with some asses? Are you calling me an ass? What's an asses? What's an asses? I'm just looking at the keyboard, like seeing what you could have meant. Like what's near the Y? What's near the A? What's near the S? I want to see a drawing. My drawing's bad, man. I had a period of drawing, and then Australians. And then I had I did oil painting a very long time ago. Like I was what, 14, 15. It is worse. Hang on. Where did I put? I don't have batteries on my iPad, so I can't actually get it. Hope you're well. I am sick. I'm sick, but I am fine. I'm alive. I will cough in your ear holes. Where? Doubt myself with that ability. I definitely doubt myself for the rest of my life. Wait. Oh. Herself? Yeah, are you herself or himself or they self? It has not been clear. I don't know where Juan was what I drew. Try to make it sound as family friendly as possible. But buses I drew. My genetic is weird. I drew a sexy dong. You want to see my sexy dong? I look like a woman, but I do own a joystick. Oh. Would you prefer they, them then? Do you want to see my sexy dong? Yeah. What else is there? Juan. Oh, I found the original Juan. The original Juan. The original Juan. Or one of the original Juans. Without the teeth. Would eat, no hesitation. Let me see, what else is there? Oh, it's so slow. Okay, that's it. There's more. Oh, I drew 50 heads when I was streaming. Not working, so it took me. No, that's okay. The 50 heads and KV was naming them. Oh my god, hang on. 50 heads when I was learning. Biological male, have genetic that makes me look very feminine, and sister grew up with sisters. I myself am very feminine, but still male. I will, if you're more comfortable with it, I will refer you as with the he, him, unless stated otherwise. But yes, that's my 50 heads. What else? Call me anything, okay. And then where else? Goose duck. I draw dong as a duck or goose, whatever you want to call it. Oh, there. And I think for me, I have more fun when I'm not taking it seriously. What else is there? Oh, I drew the twerking. It was supposed to be 100, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. This one? That's alright, take your time. Yeah, I was so committed to improving and learning how to draw, and then I gave up so quickly. Oh, I also did this one.
Thank you for liking my voice. Rest in peace.
I also did this one. And then, because Kuro keeps eating KV as an emergency. Emergency ration. You want to do it again? Why? Why would you? This was one of the very first signs of cursedness of mine. The first thing I did as soon as I got the model. Because when I first made that alert, it was spammed like crazy. Not like crazy, but it was spammed. And sometimes we need some control. But yeah, that's me. That's what I mean. Everyone has different style. For me, I just don't want to be serious. I don't want to take it seriously. And then that's when I enjoy it, when I don't take things seriously. You know? The Doomslayer voice is my voice. What do you mean? I'm no Doomslayer. I learn with your mentality. No, this is the given up mentality. I am now committed to creating people's nightmares. I am now committed to being the source of your nightmares. Do the thing.
Do a thing.
Train to be a professional and chases perfection. There's no such thing as perfection though. Sometimes you need to learn how to do the perfect style, the perfect realistic style before you learn to do the stylized style. And I think the easiest way to learn how to stylize and develop your own style is to have fun with it. Have fun with it, experiments, be willing to fail. You know? That's really the easiest way to learn. Some of the old ones in the Decadent example, I think I read that already. Yes, I did. But the terrain close at hand was hardly less strange, even if less namelessly accursed. Soon after the founding of the city, and the great mountain range became the seat of the principal temples, and many carvings showed what grotesque and fantastic towers had pierced the sky, when now we saw only the curiously clinging cubes and ramparts. In the course of ages, the caves had appeared, and had been shaped into adjuncts of the temples. With the advance of still later epochs, all the limestone veins of the region were hollowed out by ground waters, so that the mountains, the foothills, and the plains below them were a veritable network of connected caverns and galleries. Many graphic sculptures told of explorations deep underground and of the final discovery of the Stygian sunless sea that lurked at Earth's bowels. Bowels? This vast nighted gulf had undoubtedly been worn by the great river which flowed down from the nameless and horrible westward mountains, and which had formerly turned at the base of the Old One's range and flowed beside that chain into the Indian Ocean between Bud and Totten lands on Wilkes coastline. Little by little it had eaten away the limestone hill base at its turning, till at last its sapping currents reached the caverns of the groundwaters and joined with them in digging a deeper abyss. Finally, its whole bulk emptied into the hollow hills and left the old bed towards this ocean dry. Much the later city as we now found it had been built over that former bed. The old ones, understanding what had happened and exercising their always keen artistic sense, had carved into ornate pylons those headlands of the foothills where the great stream began its descent into eternal darkness. Bowels. 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 This river, once crossed by scores of noble stone bridges, was plainly the one whose extinct course we had seen in our aeroplane survey. Its position in different carvings of the city had helped us to orient ourselves to the scene as it had been in various stages of the region's age-long, aeon-dead history, so that we were able to sketch a hasty but careful map of the salient features, squares, important buildings, and the like. For guidance and further exploration, we could soon reconstruct and fancy the whole stupendous thing as it was 1 million or 10 million or 50 million years ago, for the sculptures told us exactly what the buildings and the mountains and squares and suburbs and landscape settings and luxuriant tertiary vegetation had looked like. It must have a marvellous and mystic beauty, and as I thought of it, I almost forgot the clammy sense of sinister oppression with which the city's inhuman age and massiveness and deadness and remoteness and glacial twilight had choked and weighed on my spirit. Yet according to certain carvings, the denizens of that city had themselves known the clutch of repressive terror, for there was a sombre and recurrent type of scene in which the old ones were shown in the act of recoiling affrightedly from some subject never allowed to appear in the design, found in the great river and indicated as having been washed down through waving, vine-draped cycade forests from those horrible westward mountains. There are even geographic details throughout time. This was crazy. Does it have pictograms with movements? Perhaps, yes. Bowels. Yes, bowels. The bowels. How do I define it? Bowels. The intestine. It is the intestine. You know what the intestine is though, right? Every time I want to join this on my phone, can't really. My phone has screws. It's lazy like me. No, it's okay. Take your time. I feel like someone did join. Someone called No One Knows Me joined. Yep. Bowels means something deep. Oh, is that what it means in that context? Lurked at Earth's bowels. Lurked at Earth's intestines. Intestines are deep. Bowels. Yeah, it makes sense. Bowels. It's such a funny word to say. Bowels. It was only in the one late built house with the decadent carvings. No, they're looking at houses as well. Decadent carvings that we obtain any foreshadowing of the final calamity leading to the city's desertion. Undoubtedly, there must have been many sculptures of the same age elsewhere, even allowing for the slackened energies and aspirations of a stressful and uncertain period. Indeed, very certain evidence of the existence of others came to us shortly afterward. But this was the first and only set we directly encountered. We meant to look farther later on, but as I said, immediate conditions dictated another present objective. There would, though, have been a limit after all hope of a long future occupancy of the place had perished amongst the old ones. There could not have been a complete cessation of mural decoration. The ultimate blow, of course, was the coming of the great cold which once held most of the earth in thaw. and which had never departed from the ill-fated poles, the great cold that at the world's other extremity put an end to the fabled lands of Loma and Hyperborea. Multiple meanings, yes. So many words have multiple meanings. Just when this tendency began in the Antarctic, it would be hard to say in terms of exact years. Nowadays, we set the beginning of the general glacial periods at a distance of about 500,000 years from the present, but at the poles, the terrible scourge must have commenced much earlier. All quantities estimates are partly guesswork, but it is quite likely that the decadent sculptures were made considerably less than 1 million years ago, and that the actual desertion of the city was complete long before the conventional opening of the Pleistocene 500,000 years ago, as reckoned in terms of the Earth's whole surface. In the decadent sculptures, there were signs of thinner vegetation everywhere, and of a decreased country life on the part of the old ones. Heating devices were shown in the houses, and winter travelers were represented as muffled in protective fabrics. Then we saw a series of cartouches, the continuous band arrangement being frequently interrupted in these late carvings, depicting a constantly growing migration to the nearest refuges of greater warmth, some fleeing to cities under the sea off the faraway coast, and some clambering down through networks of limestone caverns in the hollow hills to the neighboring black abyss of subterranean waters. Switch from black to milk? Black coffee to milk? Ooh! I can't drink milk. 5 cups of milk? What? What the hell? I can't drink milk. It's the Asian stomach. It's the Asian digestive system. I cannot drink milk. What did I get up to? Oh, found it. Asian stomach. I'm Asian, I love drinking milk. I'm lactose intolerant. That's the Asian stomach. A very common Asian thing. Yeah. Lactose intolerance is very common in Asians. Not all, obviously. I have my mum's digestive system and my dad's sinuses. Our old classmates used to be lactose intolerant. Yeah, you say it's like a superpower. It is a superpower. I think I can't too since I finished mine a minute ago. Now I'm in the bathroom. No, is this how you find out? Did you not know? 85% of Asian people are lactose intolerant. Can't remember the proper number. Allergic? Why would you drink it? Why would you drink it if you're allergic? How could you? Why would you? Classmates were forced to consume dairy anyway. She built resistance to it. I think I built resistance gradually to it, but I still can't drink it properly. I still can't drink it without suffering. I get headaches and I get occasional stomach aches. You're convinced this was a myth? Wow. Wow. You're lactose intolerant? No! Is this how you find out? Tablets she can take before eating dairy that prevent it from happening. Yeah, lactase. Switching back to black. No, drink something else. Drink tea. Drink. I don't know. Not a fan of dairy products except milk, but intolerant to it. That just sounds weird. It's a lactose. They make lactose-free milk now. But it's a lactose in milk. It's a certain part of milk. I've tried goat's milk and it's yucky. Goat's milk's too strong for me. I think I'm just not used to the taste of milk now. So yeah. In the end, it seems to have been the neighboring abyss which received the greatest colonization. This was partly due, no doubt, to the traditional sacredness of this special region, but may have been more conclusively determined by the opportunities it gave for continuing the use of the greater temples on the Honeycomb Mountains and for retaining the vast land city as a place of summer residence and base of communication with various minds. The linkage of old and new abodes was made more effectively by means of several gratings in ancient metropolis and several gratings and improvements along the connecting roads, including the chiseling of numerous direct tunnels from ancient metropolis to the Black Abyss, sharply down-pointing tunnels whose mouths we carefully drew according to our most thoughtful estimates on the guide map we were compiling. It was obvious that at least two of these tunnels lay within a reasonable exploring distance of where we were, both being on the mountainward edge of the city, one less than a quarter of a mile towards the ancient river course, and the other perhaps twice that distance in the opposite direction. Since I'm Filipino, I'll be turning back to black. Oh my goodness. Not eating cheese will be the end of my life. Oh my goodness. I eat dairy, I just get headaches. No, but I don't have... It's lactose gets broken down and digested by lactase. No. Is it no, what is it? Lactate? No, lactase. Lactase? Lactase. Wait. Yes, lactase. Yeah, but lactase, some people don't have lactase in their stomach. If you don't have lactase in your stomach, it doesn't digest the milk. You can't digest the milk. Would I do it again? Nah. Yeah, some people don't have it. So apparently not having lactase is actually what everyone was initially. But some people ended up, it's a mutation. Having the lactase in your stomach is a mutation. Yeah. It's a mutation people will develop because they decided that drinking another animal's milk will be a good idea. Humans are weird. No, you're a mutant if you can digest milk. You're a mutant if you're not lactose intolerant. If you're lactose intolerant, you're one of the originals. I'm not! Milk ranking before? What the hell? I'm an alien. Drank a lot of milk, damn. It was always the parents telling us that drinking milk would help with growth, making me tall. Most mammals are lactose intolerant as adults. I was very lactose intolerant as a child. As soon as my mom swapped me to cow's milk, I had a lot of issues. I don't know if it's just cow milk with lactose. Maybe other milks doesn't have lactose. I don't know. What milks have lactose? In all types of animal milk, including cow's milk, goat's milk, and sheep's milk. Breast milk? Really? All milk has lactose, so why does... My mama's milk didn't make my tummy hurt this bad, no! Oh no, I'm so confused. So why is it as humans we become lactose intolerant? So I'm the problem? I'm not the problem? What do you mean? The abyss, it seems, had shelving shores of dry land at certain places, but the old ones built this new city underwater, no doubt because of its greater certainty of uniform warmth. The depth of the hidden sea appears to have been very great, so that the Earth's internal heat could assure its habitability for an indefinite period. The beings seem to have had no trouble in adapting themselves to part-time and eventually, of course, whole-time residence underwater, since they had never allowed the gill systems to atrophy. There were many sculptures which showed how they had always frequently visited their submarine kinsfolk elsewhere, and how they had habitually bathed in the deep bottom of the great river. Darkness of inner earth could likewise have been no deterrent to a race accustomed to long Antarctic nights. I will have to call my mom. Almond and soy milk. Yes, I can't drink soy milk though, but yes, I drink oat milk actually. But even then, I don't drink a lot of oat milk. Oat milk is B tier. Gout milk. What the hell is gout milk, man? Almond soy milk tastes horrible, basically sweet. Soy milk I can't taste because apparently I can't. Apparently it's got something to do with hormones. And my hormones are already a mess. So I just avoid it. Can't spell. Goat? Cow milk. Goat. I don't like goat milk. Goat milk is yucky. Smell nice. Almond milk doesn't taste like anything. It's just water. Maybe I just had bad almond milk. Very fatty. I just don't like the taste. I mean, I don't even like the taste of lamb. Oh, not lamb, sheep. Wait, what do people call it? It's sour? Oh. Camel milk. I just almond milk for mixing. Mixing what? Baby sheep. This is the great milk debate. I should clip this, compile this, and make this, turn this into a YouTube video. An idea that I probably will forget. Pretty nice for making tea. Coffee or milk. I feel like almond milk is too watery to mix into these things. Maybe again, I might just had bad almond milk. A lot now, I'm ashamed of my life. Mama say maybe it's from coffee that makes my tummy hurt. Coffee is also diuretic, so maybe it's that. More fragrance to sweet smell of tea. Is my sinuses are dead as well. I can't smell properly. Well, I can smell, right? I can't smell almond milk. Almond milk doesn't smell like anything. Again, maybe I just had bad almond milk. Almond milk is very thick and tastes pretty pungent too. Well, what sort of almond milks have I been drinking? Maybe tomorrow she'll order almond milk coffee. Yeah, maybe it's just Australian almond milk that's just bad. Ooh, cooking stream, I should try to make almond milk. Wait, I don't even have a blender. Oh, we should make almond milk. Yes. I don't know what that means. That's what she says. I'm trying. Oh. Translate. You're not lactose, child, because you used to breastfeed. Prefer tea. I'm a seafood diet. I avoid the things that give me headaches, but overall, I see food. If it's edible, I eat food. Even if I don't like it, I will still eat it. I just lost a book. Hang on. What did I get up to? Oh no! The history! Is this a sign? Hang on. Now I'm starting to doubt my seafood diet. Lactose intolerance and allergies can develop later, even as an adult. I know allergies can develop later. You should lived to seafood diet while me. I am the ultimate seafood dieter. Finally out of bathroom? Nah, you're right. How was your bathroom trip? What did I get up to? Oh, found it. Decadent though their style undoubtedly was. These latest carvings had a truly epic quality where they told of the building of the new city in the Cavern Sea. The old ones had gone about it scientifically, quarrying insoluble rocks from the heart of the honeycombed mountains and employing expert workers from the nearest submarine city to perform the construction according to the best methods. These workers brought with them all that was necessary to establish the new venture: Shoggoth tissue from which to breed stone lifters and subsequent beasts of burden for the Cavern City, and other protoplasmic matter to mold into phosphorescent organisms for lighting purposes. At last, a mighty metropolis rose on the bottom of that Stygian sea, its architecture much like that of the city above, and its workmanship displaying relatively little decadence because of the precise mathematical element inherent in building operations. The newly bred Shoggoths grew to enormous size and singular intelligence, and were represented as taking and executing orders with marvelous quickness. They seemed to converse with the ones by mimicking the voices, a sort of musical piping over a wide range, if poor Lake's dissection had indicated aright, and to work more from spoken commands than from hypnotic suggestions as in earlier times. They were, however, kept in admirable control. The phosphorescent organisms supplied light with vast effectiveness and doubtless atoned for the loss of the familiar polar auroras of the outer world night. What is Lovecraft all about? It's about giving people love. Lovecraft is about giving people nightmares. Art and decoration were pursued, though of course with certain decadence. The Old Ones seemed to realize that this falling off themselves, and in many cases anticipated the policy of Constantine the Great by transplanting especially fine blocks of ancient carving from the land city, just as the emperor, in a similar age of decline, stripped Greece and Asia of their finest art to give his new Byzantine capital greater splendors than its own people could create. That the transfer of sculpture blocks had not been more extensive as doubtless owing to the fact that the land city was not at first wholly abandoned. By the time total abandonment did occur, and it surely must have occurred before the polar Pleistocene was far advanced, the Old Ones had perhaps become satisfied with their decadent art, or had ceased to recognize the superior merit of the older carvings. At any rate, the aeon-silent ruins around us had certainly undergone no wholesale sculptural denudation, though all the best separate statues, like other movables, had been taken away. They don't craft him a terrible fate. Masochist, sadistic. Who knows what's going on, he said, while writing all this stuff. It's like, what's this? Junji Ito. The decadent cartouches and dadus telling this story were, as I have said, the latest we could find in our limited search. They left us with a picture of the Old Ones shuttling back and forth betwixt the land city in summer and the sea cavern city in winter, sometimes trading with the sea bottom cities off the Antarctic coast. But this time the ultimate doom of the land city must have been recognized, for the sculptures showed many signs of the cold's malign encroachment. Vegetation was declining, and the terrible snows of winter no longer melted completely even in midsummer. The saurian livestock were nearly all dead, and the mammals were standing it none too well. To keep on with the work of the upper world, it had become necessary to adapt some of the amorphous and curiously cold resistance shoggoths to land life, a thing the Old Ones had formerly been reluctant to do. The great river was now lifeless, and the upper sea had lost most of its denizens except the seals and the whales. All the birds had flown away, save only the great grotesque penguins. This feels like Mom was scolding me with a spank and then treating me with food afterwards. What do you mean? Hanger? Oh my god. What happened afterward we could only guess. How long had the near sea cavern city survived? Was it still down there, a stony corpse in eternal blackness? Had the subterranean waters frozen at last? To what fate had the ocean bottom cities of the outer world have been delivered? Had any of the Old Ones shifted north ahead of the creeping ice cap? Existing geology showed no trace of their presence. Had the frightful Migo been still a menace in the outer land world of the north? Could one be sure of what might or might not linger even to this day in the lightless, unplumbed abysses of Earth's deepest waters? Those things had seemingly been able to withstand any amount of pressure, and men of the sea had fished up curious objects at the time, and has a killer whale story really explained the savage and mysterious scars on Antarctic seals noticed a generation ago by Bork Grieving. Asian childhood, yep. I got wet towels, I got rulers, I got fly swatters. I've got the electric one and the plastic fly swatters. I had like broomstick handle. I had hairbrushes. And I had a bike thrown at me. Yeah. The specimens found by Paul Lake did not enter into these guesses, for their geologic setting proved them to have lived at what must have been a very early date in the land's city history. They were, according to their location, certainly not less than 30 million years old, and we've reflected that in their day the sea cavern city, and indeed the cavern itself had no existence. They would have remembered an older scene with lush tertiary vegetation everywhere, a younger land or city flourishing arts around them, and a great river sweeping northward along the base of the mighty mountains towards a faraway tropic ocean. And yet we could not help thinking about these specimens, especially about the 8 perfect ones that were missing from Lake's hideously ravaged camp. There was something abnormal about that whole business, the strange things we had tried so hard to lay to somebody's madness, those frightful graves, the amount and nature of the missing material. Gedney, the unearthly toughness of those archaic monstrosities, and the queer vital freaks the sculptures now showed the race to have. Danforth and I had seen a good deal in the last few hours, and were prepared to believe and keep silent about many appalling and incredible secrets of primal nature. Done. Hairbrush and bike? Yes. The hairbrush was a source of spanking. The bike, it was right there. As a candle, that's 1000% level damage. That wall doesn't fit in my house. I'm gonna forget this thing for the rest of my life. The wall? The wall? What do you mean wall? What do you mean wall? From the books? From the book? What book? Oh, the book. Oh, no. So it was houses. It was statues, and I don't know how they took it from statues. I honestly don't. So statues, houses, what they could find. Yeah. They've been reading a summary on a random for 2 whole chapters. I think walls, statues, houses. It can't be an entire wall, can it? And basically, it was what remained, because apparently some of the stuff was probably moved to wherever they went. I had to go bathroom. Sorry, that's all right. Do you need to say sorry about going to the bathroom? We're not in school anymore. You don't need to ask. Yeah, so that was the book. That was interesting. Yeah. I had to put on glasses halfway through because it was the reading was giving me a headache. I should be wearing glasses when I read, but I don't. That's a whole book? No, that was only 3 chapters. That was only 3 chapters. They're long chapters. They're very long descriptive chapters. And that is why. How much chapter is in this book? Let me see. Uh, 12. We just finished 8. Yeah. Of Dostevle. I don't know. I'd heard of the name, but I don't know them. Dost. Russian. Fire door. Ah. I know of Firedorp. I haven't read any of them. Mostly philosophical books and such. I have been interested in reading philosophy books, but my brain is too small to understand anything. Yeah. My brain too small. Suggest you some? It's okay. My brain's still too small to understand them sometimes. You know? Most, if not all, is very depressing. Honestly, that's life. That's life. That is life. You know what? I have considered opening a Stream Elements donation link. But I think one of my concerns is it's gonna just be a useless link there. Because that's what happened with my throne as well. It was just there for a bit and I was like, it's kind of wasting space. Le Metamorphose still hit me hard. Metamorphose. Le Metamorphose. You read the book? Le Metamorphose. Evie is quite well read, huh? Franz Kafka. One morning, Gregor Samsa, who wakes up one morning transformed into a giant insect and struggles to adjust to his new form and the reactions of his family. What is the meaning behind Kafka's metamorphosis? Gregor's physical metamorphosis serves as an allegory for various aspects of the human condition, including isolation, alienation, and the psychological changes that individuals can undergo in response to societal pressures. I'm tempted to read that now. I am tempted to read that now. Haruka Murakami. I think I've heard of them too. Thanks for the follow, Genie. No longer human. I'm interested in that now. Metamorphosis. How long is it? Is it long? Of school, I also read The Little Prince. I haven't read The Little Prince as well. Not that long. How many chapters? Are those for public use? Is... Oh, it's a novella. Public domain. Let me see. Yes, it is. Metamorphosis is public domain. Yes. Yes, it is. Let us do it. I might ask you guys again because I don't remember. 4 chapters, that's okay. Do we want to raid into art or do we want to raid into a game? The game that I have in mind is, ooh, what about Thank Goodness You're Here or Life is Strange? Remember Thank Goodness You're Here? That was a silly game. Or Life is Strange. Or art. Just have to go soon for dinner. That's okay. Where do we want to raid into? Yes, you too. Let's raid into Life is Strange then. I haven't played the game and I haven't really seen any gameplays for it as well. So it will be interesting. Let's raid into Life is Strange with Jurian. Oh yeah, say bye to YouTube. Bye YouTube. Bye bye.